I'm back with another video. So today's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video.
Nigga, pay attention.
Another video, and unfortunately I have to come back here and address a situation that I feel like I just addressed. Now, in a day and age where racial tensions are high, people are talking about colorism, texturism, featureism, and there's a lot of black women, especially darker skinned women, who have been outraged by the disrespect that we have received for years upon years upon years, and we finally got to a point where we're comfortable in talking about things that have plagued our community for the longest, no matter what demographic of black you come from. In this day and age, I feel like people should be pretty much hypersensitive to certain topics and not play into it, even if it brings you money, likes, fame, and followers. But in today's video, I have to discuss an Instagram model who, for whatever reason, thought it was okay for her to do blackface. And it's blackface. So we have the real Ashley Love, and basically she's an Instagram model. Honestly, I've never heard of her prior to this whole entire incident. I never really cared to follow Instagram girls who are pretty and all those type of things unless I know them personally, or if they just do something for me. It's like, sis, I have to follow you. I love you. Other than that, I don't really get into the whole following girls just because of their looks, especially if they do nothing for my life and they don't really impact my self-esteem or the things that I hold valuable in life. A lot of you girls get very insecure with the things you see on Instagram, but for whatever reason, you're still following a lot of people that make you insecure. I will never understand it, but to each their own. So I really don't have much background about Ashley Love, only in the fact that she is a biracial woman. Her mother is white and her father is black, and she is a pretty Instagram girl who takes pictures for a lot of different fashion companies, different makeup things that she does with her hair, with her makeup. Like, she's just a beauty influencer on primarily Instagram, and she decided to do blackface. So in order to support the Melanin Queens, which is what she said, is that she wanted to basically put on this darker skin makeup to embrace Melanin Queens. The entire situation is very hypocritical because I just feel like, how dare you say you want to embrace something, but you basically are making a mockery of it, especially with the whole Damien and Bianca thing that just happened. It's like, why would you be so stupid? But that's what we're going to get into in this video. So I've broken my video down into 4 main talking points, so let's get right into this video. So point number 1 is, why did you think that this was okay, Ashley? Like, I genuinely want to know. Like I said, in a time period where racial tensions are higher than Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, why did you think that this was okay? Blackface was never okay. Back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, when American film was new and there was still a lot of racial tension, black people were not allowed to act. Even if they were to act, they got the least desirable roles. They were portrayed in the most ugly, horrendous, and offensive ways. And that's where we get the history of blackface. People painting their skin who are not black, and even some people who weren't white but weren't black, were painting their faces darker in complexion to imitate a black person in the most derogatory way possible. So with you having some form of background about that, because I just don't believe that someone of this age and in this day and age does not know what blackface or colorism is. Why did you think it was okay for you to imitate black women in the way that you did? And the fact that you made it seem like you were paying homage to dark skin or melanin queens doesn't make any sense to me, because that's not how you pay homage. Why not get a dark skin model? Like, the one thing that kills me is that so many people, so many influencers, so many photographers, so many fashion companies, so many beauty bloggers, so many of all of that within that realm think, for whatever reason, that the best way to go about embracing black beauty, promoting black beauty, and putting black beauty on the forefront is to substitute a black model and get somebody who's white and just make them look black. What sense does that make? Why do people think this is okay? How many videos do we have to make to let everyone know that this is offensive? No, I do not feel some form of support. I don't feel some form of, oh, this is great. I don't feel represented that a girl who literally, probably, and definitely benefits from being light-skinned and having light-skin privilege and not having to really walk a mile in what it means to be actually melanated, did a photo shoot to pay homage to myself. That doesn't make me feel happy about myself. Would it make me feel happy if it was Keke Palmer or maybe Tika Sumpter or Normani who was sitting up there on that platform and got the opportunity to embrace being a melanin queen? Those are the type of representation that I look for. So I'm not sure why she thought this was okay. I don't know where the line is where it's appreciation versus just straight offensiveness, because there's no gray area. You don't put on makeup or any form of something that can be perceived as a costume and say that you're paying homage to somebody when in reality it's offensive. There's no way, shape, or form that you can flip it. It's always going to hurt and be offensive to see someone who can literally wipe this off at the end of the day and pretty much go ahead and be her regular self, paint themselves to look like you just to get some money, some likes, and to promote herself. Like it's not fair to me at all. And even someone in middle school knows that this is not okay. So I'm very confused as to why the girl thought this was okay. Point number 2, just because you have a black parent does not mean that you are black. Now, I have said it over and over again that mixed people are not black, because if you can acknowledge that there's a mix of something, you can acknowledge that there are two sides of something, and you cannot just be one of those sides. For example, if I have a red piece of clay and I have a blue piece of clay and I put it together, I get purple. It may be looking a little bit more blue, it may be looking a little bit more red, but at the end of the day, it is a mix. You can be black in color, but your genetical makeup makes you a mixed race individual. And let's not act like most offspring coming from a parent of white and a parent of black end up just looking more black. In most cases, they're gonna look very much lighter skinned. A lighter skinned black person with more European features than, let's say, the black features. So in this case, is exactly what we have, a mixed girl. Just because you have a black parent does not make you black. If you are not dark skinned, I don't want you to paint your face to look dark skinned. If you want to pay homage to your dad's side of the family, there's so many other things that you can do other than paint your skin black. I wouldn't have even been mad if she decided to wear a dashiki. You know what I'm saying? It still would have been a little bit like cringy, but it's just like I would have preferred that, because dashiki, anybody can wear it as a piece of clothing. As long as you do your research and you understand the significance of what it is, I see no harm in paying homage to something and part of your roots, which is 50% of you. But the fact that you thought because you had a black parent that this was okay and it was excusable is just stupid. Like, girl, you gotta be smarter than that. Like, that's really dumb. Like, dumb. At this point, it's like she was just doing it because it's convenient. And it must be nice to be able to be black out of convenience. It must be nice to be black for a couple hours and washed away. It must be nice to reap the benefits of being promoted as somebody that you're not, but then at the end of the day, you can be the more favorable part of being a human being. It must be nice to get the light skin privilege. It must be nice to get the mixed girl privilege. It must be nice for boys to want you because of your look and how pretty you are, but then at the same time, you have people who are actually black and dark skinned who don't get likes, who don't get people who like them, who get people who are prejudiced against them, who get people who think that they're all the same, who think they're ghetto black girls, who get painted with one brush. It must be nice. It must be mother nice. It must be nice. This girl literally woke up in her light-skinned, mixed race self, went to her photo shoot, painted that all on, and then washed it off at the end of the day and gets to proceed in her privilege. It must be nice. The makeup artist is wrong. The photographer is wrong. And from what I heard, the photographer, for whatever reason, is defending him taking these photos. And don't get me wrong, the quality of the photo is great. If this was her natural skin tone and this is what she looked like, beautiful. But the fact of the matter is, when you actually dig down into it, the girl isn't even this skin color. Point number 3. This is in no way showing appreciation for black or dark skinned women. Not one bit. I didn't feel any form of, oh yes, this is me, I love it, I feel represented, I feel like somebody's promoting me. I didn't feel that at all. I felt blatant disrespect. From her before picture, or shall I say her actual picture and what she looks like on a regular basis in her mixed race light skinned self, to that picture that she took, it was more hurtful, it was more offensive. It just made me feel like, why do people still make a mockery of something that I have to walk in all day, every day, 24/7? I don't get a chance to say, okay, I don't want to be dark skinned today, let me go do something else. And that's the thing, you're starting with a light or white canvas and you can apply dark to it. For us darker skinned people, there's no way I can apply light makeup and everyone is like, oh yes girl, look at you, you look cute. People are gonna drag me. People even drag me now and say, oh, your foundation doesn't match your neck, but my foundation always matches my chest. Like, I don't pay attention to you sloths, okay? Because you girls don't even be looking cute, but you want to be talking about me, but okay. Legitimately, I didn't feel any appreciation coming from this whatsoever. Actually, you don't know the hardship and what it feels like to be in my skin. From growing up as a young girl till now, the amount of confidence I had to work on and build to even get to the point where I can sit in front of this camera and say, I'm cute, I'm popping, I'm this, that, and the third, is hard, because not only do I get it from people who are my oppressors, people who have marginalized me, the white people, I also get it from the people that are within my own race. Even from the people down to my Nigerian culture. Nigerians suffer from colorism a lot. They do skin bleach over there because a lot of them, especially the women who are darker, are suffering from colorism from people that are just like them. People who share the same skin tone as them. People that share the same culture as them. And the crazy part is not only do we get it from men, and let's be real, most of us want the likes and attention and validation from some men. Not everybody, but some men. We like that as women, and we're not gonna lie about that. The sick part is that we also get it from other black women. There's been a lot of light-skinned girls who have called me ugly. There's been a lot of light-skinned girls that say, oh, I look better than you, I'm light-skinned, I have curly hair, I have green eyes, I have this, that, and the third. And I know there's been a lot of light-skinned girls who also suffer from colorism, but let's be real, dark-skinned girls get it the worst, okay? We really suffer from it, and it's just impossible for you to ever know what that feels like. You don't understand what it's like to be in my struggle, so the fact that you thought that you could paint your face and do it for us, it's like, no, you didn't. This is not any form of appreciation. I didn't feel thankful, and I wasn't happy that you did this for me or for us. One thing I did want to point out is that as a light-skinned person, Ashley, you already have the permanent privilege of what you look like, okay? Of the skin that you're in. And I think we need to call a spade a spade. A lot of light-skinned girls know that they have privilege to certain extents. I've seen a lot of light-skinned girls on YouTube who really have terrible content, who really aren't that cute, who really just do it for the gram. Because they're light-skinned and they get off that aesthetic as I'm pretty and I look a certain way, they've made it. And a lot of them will admit that they've had light-skin privilege, especially in things like this where we're talking about beauty and influencing in social media. A lot of them know they have light-skin privilege.
Here on YouTube, for example, I also am considered the beauty standard, you know what I mean? I'm light-skinned, I have curly hair, yada yada yada. Like, that's just what society seems to keep pushing as what's beautiful, so I'm more easily attracted to. And because of my racial ambiguity, because of my light skin, I'm easier passed for different races, and more people are attracted to my channel. For example, Hispanics follow me, white people follow me, black girls follow me. Tons of different people follow me based off of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting on YouTube and wanting to watch people who look like you. That's normal. But what I'm saying is as far as a beauty standard is concerned, someone's gonna see my video and another girl's video, both executed exactly the same, beautiful, gorgeous, whatever, and they'll always, not always, but 9 times out of 10 they're gonna click on my video before they click on her video if she's dark skinned. And it is, unless, you know, she is dark skinned, then, you know, whatever. But, and even then, sometimes no. So, it is what it is. So now that we've addressed my privilege and how this system benefits me, let's talk about what fucking pisses me off. Alright, at the end of the day, I cannot do anything about me benefiting from other people's colorism. I cannot tell people, unsubscribe from me if you're only subscribed to me because I'm light skinned. Like, I can't, like, there's nothing that I can do about my gain from my privilege. All that I can do is acknowledge my privilege and, you know, just know that it's there.
When it comes to YouTube and the beauty industry, we only have one brown-skinned, dark-skinned girl that we can say is our own. Jackie Aina is the only one that they put on the forefront, and she's the only one that they allowed us to have. She's the only one that's up there. Meanwhile, you have so many white influencers. You have a ton of light-skinned girls that's influencers. Even when it comes to the girls that are on Instagram, like the Instagram girls, many of them that we look at are always a certain aesthetic. They're usually light-skinned, or maybe they're even Latina, or they're biracial, and those are the ones that get the most likes, the most brand deals, the most sponsorships, the most likes from guys. Whereas I'm seeing those dark-skinned girls come up, okay, we popping and we've been popping, but we're just now getting that recognition. Over the past couple of years is when dark-skin recognition for women within the beauty industry especially has really been given to us. And it's crazy that someone who already is living in that privilege and understands that would somehow double back and think that, okay, let me go and pay homage to people so that I can get some clout and likes. It's like, because dark skin and being brown and being being melanated and melanin queens and magic and all that brown skin girl. What's that song by Beyonce? Brown skin girl. Now that that's a thing and it's a trend and people are being put on, I don't understand why there are some, not many, but some light-skinned influencers overtly tanning themselves or using darker makeup to appear a certain way. It's like, stand in what you are because you already are that and you get the privilege of being in that. You can pay homage to us in so many different ways by collaborating with us, giving us opportunities, not shading us. And brown skin girls, we can reciprocate the same thing with light skin girls. And I don't like the fact that this divide has caused people to make stupid, irrational decisions that actually came up offensive. So no, you didn't pay any form of appreciation to me or anybody that I know, like, at all. And another thing is, white and light-skinned girls should not be defending this bullshit because you don't even walk in the shoes of the people that are actually offended. You can step here and say it's art. It may be art, makeup is art, but it's not the art that is actually moving us in the right direction. Everyone, all of you women always say, oh, you need to be more positive, you need to embrace this, you need to do that, you need to be happy within yourself, we need to support each other. But as soon as something happens just like this, all of a sudden all of that goes out the window. You're gonna defend bullshit and say, oh, it's art, it's her creation, it's her example of what it means to be a melanated queen. No, this is not a good example of that. I didn't appreciate this at all, okay? I genuinely was offended when my subscribers sent this to me and I'm looking at it like, what in the world did this girl think was going to happen? And she knew what was going to happen. She knew she was going to be dragged and she knew nobody was going to appreciate this. Now my fourth and final point is something that I always stress, and that is accountability. Her lack of accountability because her apology was utter complete bullshit. The reason why I didn't drag this girl like Bianca is because I know Bianca is actually very stupid, and again, she looks like a gecko, so it doesn't matter. Geckos are gonna do what geckos are gonna do, birds are gonna do what birds are gonna do, and the bitch is flying and flocking. But this girl, I feel like this is coming from a really different point because her job is beauty, her job is influencing, her job is to create looks and create art per se and portray herself and her fashion and things that she likes in the best light possible to reap benefits like money, free clothes, free products. But you took your opportunity to neglect, deflect, and literally offend. And your apology, or I guess you could say your defense to that, was very unaccountable. I'm gonna read you guys what she said.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
So her post reads, at Nicole Artistry, and I wanted to try something new and test out my versatility. Some may be triggered, some may not, but this is more of an appreciation post for my melanin queens. For those who want to call it blackfishing, you're blind. I am mixed and my mom is white and my dad is black. Learn to love the skin you're in regardless of what color you are. And then she goes ahead and tags the makeup artist, all the makeup used, the foundation, all of that type of stuff. And it's just ridiculous that she even thinks that she even had a chance, that social media wasn't gonna drag her. Like, girl, are you dumb? Literally in this day and age, this is what you come up with? You didn't for 1 second, not even a smicket, show any form of appreciation. I'm trying to figure out what part of this was appreciation. What part? Please, somebody tell me. Nonetheless, she then, after all the backlash that she knew she was gonna get, so she knew what she was doing, which is why she's making a video made about her, because you're not gonna sit up here and know that you're gonna do something that's gonna be offensive and continue to do it because you say, we're blind if we think this is blackfishing. The little definition of blackfishing means painting yourself a darker skin tone, primarily black, dark skin, when you are not someone of that race, ethnicity, or color, just so you can appear as someone of that race, culture, ethnicity, or background, and you're not. This is complete and utter blackfishing. I don't know why she didn't think it was. I don't know how I'm blind. Like, girl, I'm wearing contacts right now. I can definitely see. Anyway, so she apologizes, quote, because it really wasn't no apology. It says, I'm saying this for the last time and the last time only. I apologize for those who feel offended, but if I was out here trying to please everyone, then I wouldn't be happy with myself. I thought what I did was beautiful. You guys try to separate us lighter skinned individuals as if we're not black too, and it's honestly heartbreaking. My job was to make a statement, and I did just that. I still love each and every one of you. I respect every opinion. I see you and I hear you loud and clear. That at the end of the day, not everyone is going to like what you do, and that's okay. I still got love for y'all. Now, I watched a lot of videos on this girl prior to me making my video about this incident. One thing that I think everybody missed is if you're black, right? Why did you refer to us as I still got love for y'all? Using the word y'all means you are separating yourself and we are other. If anything, you would have said, I still got love for us, if you considered yourself a part of the black community. Girl, you're not black, you're mixed, you're biracial, and I don't and never ever will think people who come from parent of two different races can be considered one of those races. What sense does that make? Literally, biologically, what sense does that make? I don't care what shade you are, you're still biracial. There's gonna probably be some form of feature in you that doesn't look like the phenotypically black woman. So completely stupid. Like, like dumb. And then it's like, I apologize for those who were offended, but it's like, no, you should apologize because you offended somebody. You offended me, you offended so many dark-skinned girls, and you even offended people who are a part of your camp. You offended white girls, you also offended girls who are black but lighter skinned. You also offended people like you are biracial. I was looking through some of the comments because honestly I have to really look deep, and someone even said, even though you're mixed, I'm mixed too, and we do have light skin privilege. Show your appreciation by getting a dark skin model, not painting yourself darker. And I agree, like there's even people who are within your same camp who understand your same struggle or come from the same form of, you know, upbringing as you, with having parents of two different races, who can understand and draw the line of demarcation about how this was wrong. There's no gray area, it's wrong. And then of course there's people who are agreeing with her, and someone said, art is about expressing, and you did just that. Art isn't about applying to everyone's beliefs or being politically correct. It's to make a statement no matter the feedback. Y'all want everything to be offensive anymore. Not a single word was rude. It was all encouraging. Crazy how y'all could turn against someone rooting for you. First and foremost, this person is clearly white. Secondly, she's dumb because she spelled rooting wrong. And third, I don't even understand the comment because it doesn't really make any sense. But I say all that to say that, again, if you are not black, if you're not dark skinned, let alone if you don't understand the struggle it means to be in a color of a shade of a skin in which you cannot change, that you've been given to you from birth, if you don't understand why this is offensive, you should probably just shut that your mouth and keep quiet. Go and sit down. Go to your room because you're very stupid. And of course she responded back like, yeah, let them hate. You know, they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say. And it's just like, shorty, what do you think is gonna happen when you do stupidness? Honestly, it's unfair that this is your apology. You took no accountability whatsoever. You guys know, if someone makes a mistake, I would rather them apologize and take accountability before they do anything else. Deflecting and offering your excuses as to why you think this was okay will never, ever, ever fly with me or most of the people that's gonna be offended by what you're doing. And I don't understand how she said, love the skin that you're in, but bitch, you didn't do that. You legitimately painted yourself darker than myself and talk about some love the skin that you're in. No, 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 no. Cut the malarkey. How many times do I have to tell people to cut, okay? Cut the malarkey. This is complete malarkey. You can't tell me to embrace the skin that I'm in and love it when you're literally making yourself as dark as your shadow. Like, are you stupid? I don't understand girls who want to pull out this positive message to embrace and do all these different things that all you women like to say, but then are so hypocritical and do none of that. You can do whatever you want, but when it's going to offend people to this extent, and there's a lot of racial history as to why this is wrong, that's where I have to really say, okay, you're crazy. And the crazy part is so many people were underneath the post saying, you know, I'm black, this is offensive, could you please take this down? And it's been so long and the girl has yet to take down the post. She literally still has it up and she's reaping the benefits of being viral, and she wanted attention, so bitch, you about to get the attention that you deserve. Everybody's dragging you and everyone's making a video about your colorist self because you wanted to reap the benefits of being light skinned but then also being dark skinned for a day. Like, where do they do that at? Like, literally, I'm really disgusted overall because I feel like there's a lot of girls who think that this is nothing, and because people like to paint certain people with the same brush and not realize that black people do come in shades and different colors, they think that this is an everybody thing, when in reality, I'm not gonna sit here and say there's a divide in how a certain person is because of their shade of their skin, but there is light skin, there is brown skin, there is dark skin. Yes, they're all still black, but we do all go through some different struggles and we have to admit that. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say that my struggle is the same as a light skinned girl when I know I grew up differently or had to face different struggles than that person did, even though we do come from the same race. But this girl does not, okay? This girl is mixed and she did this shit for clout and views and tried to get viral, and now we're giving the dumb bitch the attention she deserves. So consider yourself dragged, bitch. You have been dragged, stupid goats. Foolishness. Real Ashley Love, thumbs down, unsubscribe, unfollow, dislike, unplug, log off. I can't stand people who do this. I'm gonna still call out situations like this because I feel like having a discussion and bringing awareness to people, that way you guys can look at me or other people talking about this and not give your support, likes, views to other people who are actually perpetrating and doing the bad stuff, brings us to a better understanding that there are social issues that are going on still to this day within colorism, featureism, and texturism that definitely need to be addressed. Ashley, I hope that you learned your lesson, but at the end of the day, you're canceled to me. Bye, bitch. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know your comments, thoughts about the situation. How did you feel about this post? If you are not black, I want to know how people who aren't black or dark skinned feel about this. Do you see the issue? Do you see why we're offended? Because I'm always curious to know the thoughts of people who are not directly affected by certain things I talk about. How do you perceive it? Don't forget to follow me on all my social media networks, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. wouldn't have done something like this. Any black woman, any black person who is melanated to this extent would have noticed like, oh no, this is not right. I'm not gonna co-sign to this. The makeup artist needs to be slapped as well because you co-signed this nonsense. Like you thought this was okay.
I'm pretty sure they shouted her out in the video.
They probably did. We're gonna find her. We're gonna find her because no, you shouldn't have even participated in that. Because Bianca is one of those girls again who thinks she's cute because she's light skinned when in reality she looks like an iguana, and that's really unfortunate.
Her gecko built ass.
Yes, with her gecko, you could save 50% or more with car insurance, head ass girl. Like no, and I'm about to drag her because really I'm sick and tired of being.